Don't mess me around, or I'll mess with you.
You think you can get a hold of a decent set of alb components? Welcome to the camp of the impure, where the poor souls barred from the city stand and wait for the Albs to kill them.
What do you want here?
We don't want anything here. We want to be in there, in the city, as the law says we can, as the law says we should be. Those clerics are supposed to uphold the law, yet here we are. The gate's closed to us.
They must be planning something. No one would just sit here and wait without some sort of plan.
Well, we have expectations that our wish will be granted, if that's what you mean.
I want to get into the city. Can you get me in?
Have you tried to get in yet?
Yes, I went to the gate.
And? You got turned away, right?
I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Okay. I can offer you a way to get into the city, but it's risky because you might not get out again. At least not if they confiscate your ID.
Why won't I be able to get out?
All right. I just hope things don't go the same way they did with Cooper. The clerics have shut the city up tight. They won't let anyone who doesn't have a valid ID through the gate. Not in, not out.
Who is Cooper?
He's an acquaintance of mine. He lost his ID and got stuck in there when they sealed the gates. Anyway, we're off the point. You want in, right? And I can give you a counterfeit ID that will get you in. But once you're inside there, I need you to go and take an ID card to Cooper. That way he can come back out again. Like I say, I can get you in, but I also need you to help me out. You good with that? Does that sound like a deal?
Deal. Give me the ID, and I'll meet Cooper.
Good. Right. That's the plan. Long term. You see, Wick has all the blank IDs. So before I can get you an ID, I need you to get me Wick.
Where is Wick?
Well, that there is a good question. You see, he's been gone for a while. He'd gone over to the ruins to see if there was anything worth scavenging there, and hasn't come back. You should look for him over to the northwest if you're in a hurry to get into the city. Just look through all the houses. He should still be there, scavenging.
Are there any traders out here?
Out here? Not really traders, no.
Don't you trade?
If there's profit in it, I'll buy and sell anything you want. What is it you're looking for?
Just show me what you're willing to trade.
All right, let's see if we can both profit.
I'm looking to buy a weapon.
Sure, if you have the shards.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think I'm done here.
Don't ask me what that was about.
shall pay.
Yeah, you just can't find those these days.
Is she really so gullible?
Now you shall pay.
No, right?
The comet wiped the
Fucking
weak
elves.
from this
They'll
world
cost all
to
of
make
us.
Are you
space for
serious?
the Alps.
Not like that.
Wick is dead, but I found the ID cards on his body.
Dead? Shit. I told him whatever was there wasn't worth the risk. But Wick would do anything if it would mean him getting two shards he could tap together. Ah, well, give me the blank ID card. I'll work it up for you now. So, done. One fake ID ready to go.
Give me the counterfeit ID.
Okay, wait a second. Your image has to be added there first. So, done. Here's your ID. And this is the ID for Cooper. Take it to him. But make sure the clerics don't see it, see him, or see you handing this over. And do it as soon as you get in there. He's been at risk too long as it is. We don't need him being held, or worse, turned into a vegetable by the suggesters.
Someone's gotta sort this shit out before we drown in it.
It's his own fault.
A few shards and all this will be easy.
Halt! Nobody is allowed into the city without an ID.
How do I get an ID?
You'll have to go to Gregor at the other gate. He's the only one authorized to issue new IDs. We aren't letting a lot of people in at the moment. We're having... well, talk to Gregor. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say.
What's happening in the city?
Well, the Domed City is a refuge for all. Outlaws, berserker, clerics, anyone who wants to be somewhere other than their homeland. Being away from home, you'd think they'd care less about what faction they were from. But for some reason, some of them have got even more fanatical. That makes keeping order difficult sometimes. The outlaws are the worst. They don't understand rules or sharing, or in some cases, that people have a right to stay alive.
You don't seem to like outlaws.
All people are welcome here. The Domed City is a refuge for all. But that means all, not just outlaws. There's a half-dozen outlaws hanging around outside the city at the old farm now. They just want to get in to cause trouble. I mean, we got everyone settled down and living together, and those outlaws, I just wish they'd disappear.
You want the outlaws in the farm to die?
Whoa, whoa, that's not what I said. I just want them to stop causing trouble for good.
About the outlaws in the farm.
You mean the threat on our doorstep? The canker in our midst? They who should disappear?
If the price is right, I will take care of the outlaws.
Are you sure you can handle this? Well, if you're willing to try, then I would be grateful if they'd vanish. I will have your reward ready when you come back. Oh, it'll be such a relief to know they're gone. But you need to prove you did it by bringing me their heads.
You want their heads?
By Magalan, what? No. No. What am I supposed to do with their heads? No. No, I didn't. Just make sure that the outlaws disappear. And don't trade with them, or you can forget your reward. And no heads. Don't bring me any heads.
Where are these outlaws?
They've gathered east of here at an old farm, not far from the city walls. You can't miss them.
Someone needs to go out there and kill every last raptor.
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me? Because I'm pissed at how long you're taking to pay.
I don't even want to know.
Not like that.
Someone needs to go out there and kill every last
I've
raptor.
got a message for you from Gustav, the guard on the gate.
What does that tool want? I can't imagine he's opening the gate for us.
He wants you all dead.
And he sent you to tell me that. I always said that piss streak was a coward. We're going nowhere. You tell him that.
What do I get for running your errand?
There's someone who understands profit. You'd make a good outlaw. If Gustav has decided he wants us dead, then he's too much of a danger. He's not gonna leave us alone until he's dead himself. It seems you can get close to him. So I want you to persuade him to come out here. Say you need help or something. I want to see that asshole's eyes when he dies. Bring him here, and you can have the shards he promised you, plus a sweetener on top from me for your help. How's that for profit?
Any ideas for how to get Gustav to come here?
Play to his ego. Say you need his help. He won't come and fight us on his own. But if he thinks you're fighting as allies, maybe that will get him to come with you.
You have a deal. I'll bring him here.
It might even give us a way in if he's not on the gate anymore. Maybe, maybe not. But it'll be one less cleric. Either way, bring Gustav to us and we'll take care of him. He's the main thing we need to deal with.
Okay, I'll do it.
You still have your skill, Jax.
Halt! Nobody is allowed into the city without an ID.
About the outlaws in the farm.
You mean the threat on our doorstep? The canker in our midst? They who should disappear?
There are too many outlaws at the farm. I need your help.
Very well. But I'll only pay half. I'm risking my life and my job coming to help you. Okay? Just wait a moment. I have to find a replacement at the gate. It can't go unguarded, after all. I'll be right back. Yes. Let's go and take care of these outlaws.
Pathetic remnants of a degenerate old...
I'd put that weapon away if you want to live much longer.
Gustav is dead.
Then you deserve the profit from that. Check his corpse for the reward he offered you. And here's a sweetener for getting the job done. You backed the right side.
Excellent work.
Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry permit.
I heard you hold people prisoner if they can't prove their identities.
Of course. Need a valid ID to enter or to leave. It's important we keep the right balance here, and that we can hold people accountable. We've worked hard to keep things running here. We can't start letting people flood in, or the troublemakers will take over. Anyone who tries to get around with ID is given straight to the suggesters to be taken care of.
What's a suggester?
Our suggesters are the reason things remain peaceful in the city. If someone causes trouble, then they're either thrown out, see a suggester for reorientation, or both. But don't worry, it's a positive experience that will leave you happy about life. Even so, I recommend avoiding it.
I have an entry ID. Let me through.
Really? I thought I knew all the ones that had been issued. And you were here asking about getting ID before. So tell me where you got this one.
It belongs to my brother. He loaned it to me.
You know that's not how IDs work. They're for the person they were issued to. Ha! If you hadn't said, I wouldn't have known. The picture looks really like you. You could be twins. All right, just this once. I'll let you through. Oh, and there are some rules I need to tell you before you enter. First, stay away from the generators. Nobody but the technicians is allowed access to them. That sort of security is why we need to keep an eye on IDs. So if you meet someone who's in the city illegally, report them to us immediately. And Eric will take care of them. We can only keep peace in the city if we all work together, and we keep the city secure. That's what was laid down by the Great Council of Magalan. And the Great Council gave the clerics the responsibility for guaranteeing the city's independence. That means everyone is welcome here, until they cause trouble. So keep the peace while you're in there. Our suggesters are busy enough without you adding to their workload. And that's it. You may pass.
What's happening in the city?
Nothing right now, but it's simmering. You can feel it. There was something building even before we let those Alp separatists in here. They just lit the touch paper. But hey, we're supposed to be a sanctuary, so someone decided to open the gates and let the separatists in.
How many separatists are there in the city?
Too many. Once an alb, always an alb. They still hit ELEX. It's just a matter of time before they turn back. I don't know what they want in the city. I'd heard a bunch of them had set up a base in the west of Abessa, so they could have gone there. If we weren't so busy here, we'd have tracked them down and cleared them out of Abessa. Last thing we need is Zakor thinking we're harboring rebels.
Where can I find Eric?
Just go straight down the path into the inner city. You should find him there.
You mentioned the Council of Magalan.
The Great Council, yes. You'll have to speak to Judicator Alois if you want to know more about that. I'm not that well informed on my history.
Who's Alois?
Alois is the Judicator in charge of the city. You'll find him in the castle. He likes to stay close to the generators.
Tech's gonna get you in trouble. Put it away or dispose of it.
Teach me something.
Of course.
You must have something to offer apart from shards.
What makes you say that?
This town isn't bankrupt. You have a lot of things you can pay with apart from Alexit.
Actually, we're short of everything. Blame the comet and decades of war. But you have a point. Here, take this.
I found the outlaw.
Is he dead?
No, I talked to him.
Talked? Why did you talk? What did he say?
He wants you to start trading with him again.
Trading? What trading? What are you talking about? If I was trading, that would be against the law. I mean, I'd be a dead man.
About the outlaw.
What? What about him?
Why did you stop trading with him?
I wasn't trading. Trading would be illegal. ELEX technology is forbidden. Trading without a license is forbidden. Trading with people outside Goliath is forbidden. Anyway, I mean, that stuff was junk. I wasn't doing any harm. And Angram is monitoring the ELEX oscillations in the area.
You could conceal the ELEX fluctuations.
How does that work?
Disguise the traces of ELEX as mana by overlapping the waves. This will mask it.
That is great. How did I not think of that myself? So, looking at it like that, the risk really isn't that great. Okay, I will trade with Bigby again. You can tell him that I need the same terms as before. No, he'll have to make it more, all right? Because of the risk.
Quit messing around with that gizmo, will you?
Ornir will trade with you again.
But he won't come here and tell me that himself? Slimy little raptor shit. He better make good or I'll find him. Here, take the shards I was gonna pay him. That shit better turn up. You tell him that if you see him.
Over there! Let me do it. Watch out! make that mistake again. Stay alert. I think we could run into trouble here.
What are you doing here? You should go. This place is dangerous. You should move on.
You're Crow, the guard from the Mana Shrine, right?
Yeah. You've come looking for me then, huh? And you came running, did you?
Draw your weapon. I will put an end to you.
Wait.
Come on. I'll fight the one on the left first.
Will you both stop? I said wait.
A job. Is that what I am?
You will not stand against me.
What are you...
What?
Come... You won't prove a challenge. What are you... You won't prove a challenge.
I'll wait I'll wait here. I'll wait here.
Stay alert. I think we could run into trouble here.
About Kral.
Yes?
I found Kral. I have recovered the ELEX.
And Kroll is not here? Is he dead?
Correct.
That is sad news. I feared his departure spelled his guilt. It seems justice has been done. Did Kroll tell you why he took the ELEX?
No.
That is a shame. But the main thing is he won't be seen here again. Something has occurred to me. Perhaps you could help me with something.
What do you need?
I need someone less conspicuous than myself to do some inquiring. You see, I need some answers, but if I start asking questions, it might be as bad as me outright condemning the man in question. Suspicion sticks and people can start to see someone as guilty, even if there is nothing wrong. So, that is why I'd like you to do the asking. You see, there is a cultivator by the name of Ulrich, a willing and capable berserker. But there has been a change in him of late. Something I can't quite put my finger on. I would like you to speak to him and see if you can find out what is troubling him.
What do you suspect Oric's problem is?
Well, that's the issue. Suspicion is all I have. You see, Ulrich has continued with his tasks. He is polite and helpful, but there is a distance. He isn't as open as he used to be.
How can I find out what's wrong?
Just talk with him. See if you get the same feeling. He is someone who loves what he does. You should have no trouble getting him talking about his work in the seeding fields. It has long been a passion of his, but maybe that's it. Maybe he's seeking promotion, or maybe he's just having a bad day. Whatever it is, he served us well, and if there is something wrong, I'd like to help him. I don't want him to be afraid to tell me of problems.
Why are you messing with that here?
So, your job is to protect these plants from mutants.
Happy. I've got the most important job in Golia. Hey, maybe even on Magalan. Protecting the seedlings, that's the law. World hearts are to be protected from everyone and everything. Not that these little baby seedlings are world hearts yet. But now Boren's had the mana delivery from Caldrum, we can start cultivating them again, and then, who knows? World hearts, proper world hearts, are rare. But maybe, just maybe, one of these little things will make it to maturity.
Are you happy working for Cauldron?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not always so easy. Caldrum is pretty strict about how the plants are grown and what you do with them, and, well, how are we gonna learn like that? You think the first cultivators just stood and watched things grow? The first mages just waited for magic? No, they tried things. They experimented.
Is there a way to stop the mutants from eating the plants?
Yeah, I mean, if we can't grow many world hearts, maybe we should try growing them differently. Maybe we could breed them so that the mutants wouldn't eat them. But we're not allowed to try, which is crazy. I mean, imagine what we could do. And not just to seedlings. If mana does that to a plant, imagine what it could do to a person. If we don't try, we won't progress.
What do you think of Born?
He's a good boss. I enjoy working with him. He cuts me some slack, gives me some time of my own. That gives me a chance to, well, do some experiments sometimes. Just try a few things to see if I can help the seedlings.
And is everything all right out here? There's nothing getting you down?
Just the usual. The mutants, the low success rate in growing world hearts, the occasional bit of grief from the boss, but nothing too bad. You know, nothing worth talking about.
Why are world hearts so rare?
I don't know. I mean, berserkers have been studying them since before I was born. I think they found one out in the wild. I heard they were going to destroy it because it was, you know, a mutant plant. Then they realized this thing was making everything else grow. They've been learning how to cultivate more world hearts since then, but it's hard. Even since they learned to feed them with mana.
It sounds like you really care about your job.
You know, yes, I do. I want to see the seedlings live. I want to see more world hearts. I just wish that the others could see how I could help them achieve that.
How do you think you can improve the seedling crop?
And that's just the seedlings. There've not been many experiments on people since some narrow-minded warlord banned them. I think we should at least talk about trying that again. If feeding mana to plants in these doses can make world hearts, what would happen if we got the dose right with people? Any experiment, it's going to take someone to show the way, to blaze the trail, to be the first.
It takes courage to be the first.
Well, I was thinking about mana and seedlings and us, right? The ELEX, the normal ELEX that the Albs are after, that makes them stronger. That's why they're so scary. So I thought, what if we did that with mana? I mean, it's been purified by the plants, so it should be all right, yeah? And if it makes us stronger, like the Albs, then we'd stand more of a chance. We could take them on. So I extracted the juice from a seedling and I drank it. And I felt like I understood everything.
Don't your laws forbid that?
Yeah, I suppose, but don't you see? If we can get this to work, if we can do this, then we'd all be stronger. You can see that, can't you? I've got to wait to try again, but I'm telling you, one more dose, maybe two, and I'll become something else. Something that can fight the Albs.
One more dose?
One more mature seedling, and I could solve this question. I know it. I can show everyone the way. We can win this war. All this can be over. You believe me, right? So, let's keep this between ourselves. You will get more juice. I promise. I should go now. I have to make this work.
About Auric.
Did you find out what happened to him?
You should forget about Auric. There's nothing to worry about.
Indeed? Well, maybe I was imagining an issue where there was nothing. Or perhaps I should have been more attentive. Whatever the truth, regrets won't change facts. Thank you for looking into it for me.
Excellent.
Just what will happen if we all begin to rely on machines?
Guy wouldn't know his ass. Not again.
What do you want? Do you back the clerics here, or do you want them gone?
You get right to the point, don't you?
And are you gonna give me an answer?
I'm against the clerics.
Right, good. I can see you talk sense. They say they're here to keep things safe, to keep order. But it's obvious they want to drop their neutrality and extend Ignadon's control into Abessa. Not allowing anyone in or out of the city, that's just the start of it. You think that's because the Alps are getting closer? or that those followers of Kalan really want a backdoor for invasion.
The Albs are more of a threat than the clerics.
Executions, converters, torture. Believe me, I know all about that shit. But those guys are only interested in ELEX, and as far as I know, there isn't any more here in the city than there is elsewhere. So why should they show any interest in attacking a fortified position to get it, instead of sweeping up all there is out there?
The Albs want all the ELEX. All of it, no matter where it is.
We won't get in their way. We don't want ELEX. They have to see that. They'd be attacking us for nothing. No, it's the clerics.
Why don't you do something to stop the clerics?
What's that got to do with you? You expect me to trust you just like that?
Hunter sent me.
Why didn't he come himself?
He was afraid he wouldn't be let out of the city again if he was caught.
You mean he was afraid the same thing would happen to him that happened to me? Fuck it. At least the suggesters haven't found me yet. Did Hunter give you something for me?
Yes, I have something for you.
Thanks. I was starting to think that I would never leave this stinking cleric-infested dome. I don't know if Hunter promised you a reward, but here's something for me in any case. You've helped a good cause. Trust me.
Too easy.
I'm watching you.
Do you think I didn't notice what you were doing?
Who's prowling around out there?
I have to go.
Why waste time thinking about it?
What do we have here? Fresh meat?
The only fresh meat here is you. Let me ask, do you eat ELEX?
Do I eat? What are you talking about? How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? I'd watch out. They're probably trying to recruit you. You wouldn't be the first to come here looking for shelter only to end up bowing down to Magalan. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
And you just let them do that?
Of course I didn't let them. But getting around their ban isn't simple. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card. And they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your trade ban.
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
Sounds like you could use some help.
Yes. Yes, I could. Still, let's say he's right. And that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from the Separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards. And that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who could enter and leave the city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
Do you really think you can trust the Separatists?
I can't leave without profit. Hell, right now I can't eat without profit. So I need this deal. So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine, and even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
Good. Right. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called Radok. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons, and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find Radok?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
Trolls, mantises, raptors. It's crazy to travel out there.
Hey, you.
Let me guess. I'm not allowed into the upper quarter?
What? No, everyone's allowed to move about freely here. I just have a question for you. You got here recently, right? I just want to know what things are like outside the dome. What's going on out there? Are the Albs attacking?
There is war going on. You must have heard about it.
Heard, yes. But we're cut off from it. They can't get into the dome, so they pass us by like a river around a rock. Magalan gave us the knowledge, and now look what we've achieved. A safe harbor for all people. The clerics and Ignadons say we've strayed. I say we've found the true path.
You built the dome?
I designed the plans for it, then we built it together. My name is Eric, by the way. Chief engineer here in the dome. I'm in charge of all the generators and technicians who oversee them.
Why don't the clerics have a dome like this in Ignadon?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Alb attack?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
I can repair the energy regulators for you.
Thanks for the offer, but that's not necessary. I've already repaired the components. They just haven't all been installed yet.
About the broken energy regulators. What will happen if they aren't repaired?
If just one regulator fails, it could mean an emergency shutdown for the dome. Otherwise, the discharge it would create could kill a whole lot of the people the shield is supposed to be protecting. But whether it's a discharge or an emergency shutdown, both scenarios would see us defenseless.
How many energy regulators are broken?
Well, all of them. I've sorted replacements where I can, but Lutz hasn't received his yet.
I will help you with the energy regulators.
I wanted to do it myself, but do you really think you could handle it? So, let's find out who you are. You should go to Ignadon one day. You could be a good cleric. Yeah, I know I left Ignadon behind, but they could offer you better training than I could. I have the energy regulator here. Please, take it to Lutz and help him to install it. Come back to me when you're done.
Hey you, I heard you speaking to Eric. He gave you an energy regulator for the dome, right? Give it to me, will you? Very soon now, you're going to need the right sort of friend, and giving that to me will earn you that.
Why do you want the regulator?
Haven't you noticed the tension here? All the anger and the plotting? It scares the hell out of me. So I want a way out of here if things go wrong. A sort of backdoor. I want to modify the regulator so I can drop a section of the dome and get out if things go bad. Let me modify it, then I'll give it back to you so you can get it to where it needs to be. You've got to see why I'd want a way out, yeah? So do we have a deal?
What's in it for me if I help you?
Profit is profit. I respect that attitude. What do you think about 100 shards?
500 and we have a deal.
500, are you serious?
Pay up or you don't get the regulator.
All right. Here, take this. Now, hand over the regulator.
Did you flee here from the desert?
Flee? No. But to live in Tavar, you need shards. And despite my talents, I wasn't one of the Duke's favorites, and that made making a profit hard.
What are your talents?
Mechanical and engineering genius. I can make anything you need from bootlaces and glue, as long as I don't get constant interruptions. And staying undisturbed is hard in the Dome City. There's always someone trying to stick their nose in. And those berserkers are the worst for it. One of those assholes killed my friend for fun. Now that bastard is focused on me and nobody's helping me. Even though they know it'll be their turn next, and keeping their head down won't save them.
Who is this berserker that's giving you trouble?
Brabak. A bull of a man and twice as ugly. Bone-breaking bastard.
About Brabak.
Where can I find Brabeck?
He's usually near the inn. Just follow your nose. If it smells like piss, you found him.
Leave Brabeck to me.
You'll deal with him? That would be great, really great. You won't find me trying to put you off that. If you think you can scare him off so he leaves me alone, that would be good. Even if I do, I think ramming a knife into his guts would be a better approach. I would have tried that myself, but if I'd failed... But if you do get rid of him, however you do it, then I will pay you.
Too easy.
If you steal, you die.
Yeah, I think I'm done here.
You can forget it, Brabeck. I serve everyone here.
Save yourself some work and some pain by doing what I say. Let those assholes drink piss from the gutters, and you keep your supplies for the real people.
What do you care who I serve? I still serve you, even though the other people complain about it.
So you are taking their side, are you?
I'm on nobody's side. I'm just getting on with my job.
You had better reconsider this.
Reconsider what? One wrong word and the clerics will throw you out of the city. So do us both a favor and calm the hell down.
This isn't over. I will come back.
When you do, make sure you bring some shards. I'm sick of giving credit and I need the change, all right? Hey, traveler. Is your throat dry? Are your feet aching? Whatever your problem, I have what you need. One good swig will cure all worries, and that's guaranteed.
I heard about your fight with Brabeck.
Ah, forget that guy. Every city has someone like him. You just have to ignore them. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Do you have any news to go with that drink?
News? I presume you're talking about news from in here. I don't hear anything much from the outside now the city gates are sealed. Now, the future of the domed city is the only topic people are concerned about right now. That's pretty much all of the conversation. There's been peace in here for years, but right now, well, we're all set for things to boil over. I don't want to say it's the cleric's fault. It's always easy to blame the people in charge, isn't it? But who else do we blame? The berserkers, the outlaws, the separatists? Me? I find it best not to blame anyone.
How is business?
Now that everyone is paying credit? Roaring. Not many people aren't happy to pay on credit. It's me that's holding the bill and hoping to get paid before I run out of supplies. Speaking of which, do you know where I can get any food supplies? I'll pay real shards to get more food supplies in.
You need supplies, and you'll pay for them. I will remember that.
A promise is a promise. Great. Thank you. Your heart is in the right place.
Do you want to trade?
Everyone seems to have an answer to this war, but I haven't noticed it ending.
What are you doing here?
That guy was never good for anything.
So, I have to go.
It is not
Stop
efficient for us to talk.
Everyone seems to have an answer.
Fuck off.
But
There
I
is
haven't
nothing
noticed
for
it
the
ending.
smart decision.
Don't mess me around, or I'll mess with you.
Summon us to lead this bunch of slobs.
I've heard a lot about that. I'm not sure I believe it.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Fucking helps. It costs all of us.
He fucking cares.
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me, Beacon?
That smells like trouble. You sure you can trust him?
What are you doing?
Don't mess me around, or I'll mess with you.
No, I'm not good enough for that. No. Too easy.
So, you come here from Goliath?
Goliath? No. I was exiled to the valley before I came here, but I hid myself in a crate and got brought up in the lift.
You escaped in a crate?
Yeah, those idiots had no idea I was in there. I waited till they were busy with the next one, slipped out, and I was gone.
You got lucky.
That wasn't luck. That was pure skill.
You were lucky.
Yeah, well, maybe I got luck and skill, but what I haven't got is beer. Feel like one?
Yeah, sure.
Well then, follow me.
I don't have any time right now.
Yeah?
Everyone
Not now.
seems to have an answer to this war, but I haven't noticed it ending.
Really? Now?
Keep your hands off my machines. Any accidents are gonna be dangerous for me, you, and the whole city. The energy regulators are screwed. The surge gauge is failing and I can't see why. And now the shield profiler is returning a really strange set of values. Altogether, that makes for one dangerous set of problems that could fry both of us if the wrong bit of kit gets jolted. And I'm the one who has to fix all this. Ah, shit, I can't even sort out the replacement parts until I have this stabilized.
Eric sent me.
Thank Kalan. Do you have the energy regulator?
Yes. Here.
Perfect. That looks great. Thanks. Thanks for getting that. I'll install it immediately. You better get back to Eric. You can tell him I'm putting it in right now. Maintenance is always better than repair.
Whatever you say.
I'm going.
Ah, the gift and treasures of travel, for it brings new encounters. So what are you? Merchant, bounty hunter, or a nobody, like most people out there?
I'm not in a faction.
Well, guess you're one lonely son of a bitch then, aren't you? Here, before you start begging for help, consider it a gift from the Duke. You gave me enough that I can share.
Thanks.
Don't thank me. Thank the Duke. If you end up in the desert in Tavar, you can thank him in person by joining the Outlaws.
How do people live here?
Here, smoke one with me, before you start bombarding me with questions, yeah? I have the best stuff here.
What do you have to offer?
Troll dung, rat scab, it's all first-class stuff. Snort it, smoke it, either way, you'll never forget the experience.
Forget it.
Well, that's your choice. From time to time, you need to open a door in your head and look inside, right? But if you won't, then all the more for me. That done, let's get into the real business.
What business?
Real business. A proper opportunity. You see, the clerics have had this city under their control for years. And the Duke thinks they're planning to take control everywhere, sooner or later. And he thinks the Dome City could be the starting point for their military campaign. So, my job is to find out if he's right. If there is something brewing that could be dangerous for us in Tavar.
What information have you gathered about the clerics?
Pretty much nothing so far. They've not been very loose-lipped around me. I must sorta stand out.
So, you want me to be your spy?
I want you to find out information. Now I can see in your eyes that you haven't fallen for the cleric's tricks. You aren't simple enough to believe every piece of troll shit you're fed.
What do you expect from me?
All that you have to do is get some answers out of somebody, and I've even got the guy lined up ready for you. His name is Lutz. He's one of Alois's technicians. As far as I know, he's trying to re-establish communications with the other clerics in Ignadon, while Alois will tell you the clerics here are neutral, separate from the ones in the Horde. Go and grill Lutz. Find out if there'll be an offensive soon. Do that, then come back to me as soon as you have any useful information.
That shouldn't be difficult. Let's get this done and take the shards.
How many shards are you talking about?
Enough. The Duke is generous. I pay. That much you can be sure of.
Why do you think that these technicians will know about the cleric's plans?
Because he's the guy that maintains all the communications equipment. He must have heard something from the comms. And he's more likely to talk than anyone further up the chain. I want to know what he's heard. I need to know what he knows.
That's it. I'm going.
I've heard that before.
Am I crazy, or is our generator power fluctuating?
The B-series was never very reliable, and you know that.
Oh, then why are we still working with that piece of crap?
That's the technicians.
Parts, repair skills, blah, blah. You never get the same answer from them twice.
Well, it's hard to get parts out here.
Don't tell me you're backing them up.
Well, there's not always an easy answer.
There's nothing shards and hard work can't solve if you really want to.
Yeah, if you say so.
You still don't get it, do you?
Why even waste time doing that?
Yes, I heard things were rough there too.
Uh-huh.
What about the rest of us, huh?
Well, the dude took the fort from bloody
Lux has
Baxter.
the energy regulator.
Good. The dome should be more stable now. I thank Kalan for sending you.
I don't want anything to do with it.
They say that the pilgrim Thorold has answers, but who knows? Do you believe that? Really believe it?
So that didn't work.
Do you ever think about how things might have been before the comet?
Do you believe that? Really believe it? Talk, that's all he is.
If we all did our duty, then duty would be done.
Talk, that's all he is.
Those ruins are still full of useful things, if you look in the right places.
I don't want anything to do with it.
You don't know that either, whatever you say. You don't know that either, whatever you say.
Nobody listens to me.
Talk to you later.
I heard you are having trouble establishing communications with the Horde in Ignadon.
That is just... Wait. How do you know that? That's confidential.
I just overheard someone talking about it.
So the word is out? That is a worry, a real worry. Well, we can't waste any more time. We need to fix that comms relay station before anyone tries to take advantage of our problems. Since you're in the know, can you help me?
We might be able to come to an agreement.
An agreement? Okay, sure, an agreement, as long as you help. If you don't help us, we could lose everything we have here. And if things fall apart out there, you can be certain that it will get bloody for everyone.
What's so important about fixing your communications right now?
We're awaiting the delivery of some combat mechs. but they haven't arrived. And we've no way to check why without communications being reestablished. That's why we've got to get the link back up now, so we can find out what's going on.
What do you need combat mechs for?
I don't know. I guess they're worried about security. And supplies. We need firepower to get enough food and tech spares into the dome to keep things going. And that's before the Alps. Zakor might have left us alone recently, but who knows how long that'll last. But it's not just about mechs. It's about food and news and everything else. We need a link with the Hort to keep this place going. We need to get this fixed as soon as possible. And please, please, keep this problem confidential. Otherwise, we are very likely to face even greater challenges. Here are the coordinates of the relay station that's gone down. It's over to the northeast of the city. Head that way and keep looking out for an antenna on the horizon. But I have no idea what the issue is there. You might be able to fix it at the bottom, but there's a chance you might have to climb the antenna mast. There will be a device somewhere on site that you can use to recalibrate the antenna. I hope that'll be enough to fix the problem.
If you're here for the food rations, then I'll tell you what I told the other 100 people. Someone must have been making a joke. I don't have anything to sell or give out, so you can just turn around and leave.
I'm not here about the food rations.
You're not? Ah, is that so? Well, then I'm sorry. I have been the butt of a joke that has left me rather angry, and I thought, well, I'm sorry. It's just, I'm just so sick of it. The belligerence between the berserkers and outlaws. Everything was simpler when I was a cultivator in Goliath. We had laws and everyone obeyed them. Why can't people just all work together?
If you feel that way, why don't you go back to Goliath?
No. Those days are gone. I left willingly to establish a world heart here in Abessa. But when it became clear that the seedling wouldn't grow, Caleb decided that we would remain here. And whatever Caleb says is best. But now, no, I can't go back. We went against orders from Goliath. If I go back now, they'll just stick me in a cage, no questions asked.
Quit sneaking around. I can see you, idiot.
I spoke to Lutz.
You got me just in time. I was right about to light one up. So, go ahead. What did he say?
I assume you don't want to hear about the energy regulators.
No, I don't want you to put me to sleep. I need information about what the clerics are planning. He must have said something about their plans.
Lutz said something about combat mechs being brought here from Ignadon.
That is the proof. They're planning an offensive.
He didn't say anything about an offensive. He mentioned defense.
No, there's no need for mechs for that. It's clear the clerics are planning something. Did he tell you anything else?
Yes, he wants me to help him re-establish contact with Ignadon.
How are you supposed to do that?
There's a defective relay station between Abessa and Ignadon. I'm supposed to readjust the antennas there.
Yeah, he doesn't look like someone who'd want to go outside the city. He's too cozy in his machine rooms. But we can use this to our advantage. When you readjust that antenna, you can install a little transmitter for me at the same time. That way we always have an idea what the clerics are up to. That'll make the Duke very happy.
I'll plant the bug.
And I'll give you a reward for that.
Are you here to seek shelter or to cause problems? This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
What's wrong with you? Have I done something to piss you off?
Call it experience, but those in need and those willing to help don't normally question my motives.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to diffuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people can make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliath?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of ELEX, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? ELEX marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took ELEX in the past. Is that what you're seeing, or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed ELEX in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the ELEX you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an Alb. I know ELEX and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I changed my mind.
That will do little for us.
Well, well.
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me? Because I'm pissed at how long you're taking.
Why are you torturing yourself over that?
Put that weapon.
Don't mess me around.
Now you get
I'll
it.
mess with you.
You don't feed the belly, the rest of the body will die.
Fucking hell. They cost all of us.
Well, well.
What do you want from me? To drive me off? Or maybe even have me killed? You don't scare me. Your people are a plague upon this land. Although, there is something different about you. Do you usually spend time with people like us?
I was an Alb myself once.
Yes. You stopped taking ELEX. That is rare, which makes me question how you did it.
People been drowning their own shit.
Hey, you. Hey, it's you.
Yes, Frank. It's me, Jax.
I heard they shot you down. That you were dead. Apparently that was wrong. But if you're here, does that mean you're a separatist now? Will you stay here and support our cause? I'm sure you would be very welcome.
What cause?
We've broken free from Zakor, from being slaves to ELEX. And we've worked, persuaded people to allow us into the city. And now we're here, we are working to be allowed to stay. Would you be willing to help us?
I will give you my support.
Good. We have to stick together. People blame us for this war, even though we left Zakor to escape it. They will doubt us until the day peace begins. I mean, they don't even trust each other. Among all these warring people, all these different agendas, we, you and I, share a similar destiny. It's the only way anyone will survive.
It seems like you're tolerated here in the city.
That is exactly what we are. Tolerated. We are still a long way from being accepted.
You should leave here. I'm sure that the Alps would take you back if you gave them information about the dome.
No, I'm never going back. Naira can say what she wants, but there's no way back. This city offered me protection. I will never betray it. This city is a place of freedom, but all the old suspicions remain. The outlaws claim they are being oppressed. The clerics say they are neutral, but they aren't. The berserkers, they don't seem to know what they're doing, apart from avoiding their laws. We are trying to discover who we are. I think people see that we are all here for a new start.
Do you need help?
It is good that you offer to help us. The berserkers are already trying to get us thrown out of the city. We need the protection offered by this place. We won't survive without it. We've persuaded people here that we are worth a chance. But there will always be those who won't see it that way. And the Albs and Zakor want us dead. If we're to stay, we need someone to get to Caleb and York. They are key to our future.
About the threat of you being thrown out of the city. What is the problem with Caleb and York?
Yorg is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs and Zakor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zakor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs and Zakor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
Good. That is the response I wanted. It is best if you go straight to Jorg. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is Jorg's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if Jorg confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims. They would have no reason to expel us.
You need a break every once in a while if you're going to stay sane. Do you get one?
As he wishes. You should do it.
I saw you.
You saw me what?
I saw how you came through into the dome. Who are you? Why were you allowed in?
That's none of your business.
Then it sounds like you got in here illegally. As much as the clerics claim to control the gates, they really don't seem to be able to stop people getting in. And by that, I don't just mean you. Can you believe it? There are fucking Albs in the city.
Who are you?
Caleb. I lead the Berserkers who've chosen to settle here in Abessa.
You are separate from the Berserkers in Udan?
We have kept our beliefs, but left behind the laws. We have set our own rules here. Well, none of us are allowed to return to Edan now. Or we just end up being sent to the valley. As to why they came here, well, the first settlers were sent to Abessa to plant a world heart to expand the forest of Edan out here. But they were cut off from Edan by the Albs, left on their own to survive. And after a while, they decided to keep it that way. The warlords in Goliath weren't happy. But they're stretched too thin for another conflict, so here we are. And since they settled here, others have joined us. Some are escaped exiles, others just chose to leave Edan.
What do you have against the Separatists?
They are coming here, to our city. The only city with a real chance of peace among the factions. If it was up to me, then we would make sure these Albs went somewhere else. They might say we have the same goal, the same enemy, but I don't believe a word of what they say. Who says they aren't spies sent here to deactivate the dome? They can't be trusted.
You want to have all the Separatists thrown out of the city?
Yeah. And you know what? I have already started to make it happen. I'll recruit anyone who'll help get this done. We have an eyewitness who claims to have seen the Separatists exchanging information with the Albs. Traitorous bastards.
Who is this eyewitness?
The Berserker Jorg saw Fenk meet with an Alb in front of the city. Why would they meet if it wasn't to exchange information about the dome? Sadly, Jorg is the only one who's seen Fenk. And now he started saying he isn't sure he really saw Fenk meet an Alb from Zakor. So I have to jog Jorg's memory, or make sure he stops denying what he said. There has to be a way to do that.
You don't think that Jorg could have been wrong in the first place?
No, never. You can't trust these Separatists. They'll betray us sooner or later for sure. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning.
I can make sure Jorg stops denying his story.
You can? Do you think you can make Jorg stick to his original story? It's for the good of the city. So go to Jorg and make sure he doesn't talk. Either help jog his memory a bit, or make sure he stays quiet. I don't care which. It can never be said again that the Albs might be innocent.
Who knows what they're going to find in those ruins next?
Really? Now?
I told him he can forget about that.
It is not efficient for us to
It's
talk.
all about serious personal dedication to the law.
Hey, you're new here in the city, right?
Yes, I've just arrived.
I thought so. I saw you come through the gate, you see? Anyway, I want to ask you something, if that's alright. Have you been to Edan recently? To the Berserkers' city of Goliad, to be exact. A good friend of mine is still there.
Who's your friend?
His name is Kral. He's a guard at the Mana Shrine. At least, he was when I left. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother, Grimar, from the Alb Converter. Do you know what happened to him?
Kral is dead.
No. Shit. Maybe if I'd stayed... You know, I was even planning how I could get to Goliad to see if I could get him out of there. I had this feeling something bad would happen to him. First his brother and then him. A curse on all of Edan. And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life in Edan.
Me? I was a worker at the pit. You know, I extracted ELEX from old machines so it could be transmuted into mana. I always wanted to join the Hooded Crows and learn the art of magic, but it wasn't to be. My parents forbade me from trying. My clan told me to stop trying. Not that any of that stopped me. And that's what got me banished. I stole mana from the shrine to try and learn magic myself. And I got myself caught. They sentenced me to exile in the Valley of the Damned, but I escaped. I'd seen the Dome City when I was sent on patrol, so when I left Edan, this was the place I thought of. And here I am.
I would like to learn Berserker magic.
Well, it's pointless asking me. I didn't manage to learn anything useful before I was exiled. You would have to join the Berserkers. They won't teach their magic to outsiders. But I don't know if I can recommend that in all good conscience. I left, after all. You will have to decide who you want to join.
I stop listening whenever she opens her mouth.
No.
As you wish. You should do it.
There have been so many patrols
Too
that got
easy.
themselves in trouble recently. It's a wonder any of them are still standing.
That's it. I'm going.
Who knows what they're going to find in those ruins next?
I will notice if anything goes missing, all right?
It is all about serious personal dedication to the law.
Don't go trying to steal stuff. I've had enough of that shit.
Fink sent me.
Did he? Well, I don't have anything to say to those albs. This whole thing between Caleb and Fink is starting to get on my nerves. I shouldn't have said anything, okay? But what's done is done, and that's that.
Tell me your version of the story.
My version? I'm stuck between the two of them. I told Caleb in confidence that I saw Fink meet an alb outside the city. Could have been a separatist, but I wasn't sure. I didn't see any more than that, but Caleb decided to tell the clerics. He convinced me that the alb Fink met must have been from Zakor. But I have no real idea who he was, or what faction he's with.
About this situation with the separatists.
Do you have any idea what I should do? I feel this is a mess.
Go to the clerics and tell them you made a mistake.
I can't do that. Caleb will call me a traitor. And for all I know, Caleb is right. That alb could have been from Zakor. What if Fink actually is an alb spy?
You shouldn't let Caleb intimidate you.
You're right. I let him push me around even when we were living in Goliath. I was always following someone or other and doing what they told me. You're right. I've done Caleb's bidding without question for far too long, and where's it got me? I'll go to the clerics and tell them the albs are innocent. You've helped me decide. Thank you. I will go to the clerics and do the right thing. I don't want someone to be thrown out of the city because of me.
You still have your skill, Jax.
Yes, you can say that, but we need more food first.
You may remain in the city.
You managed to get Jorg to admit his lie to the clerics? That is good. It seems we can trust in the cleric's justice after all. Your service should be rewarded. That is half of my daily ration. I hope it is enough to show thanks.
You think you know what's going on? No one knows what's going on.
Well, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't
Fuck
it?
all of them. They're drowning their own shit.
Everything was better earlier, but...
Why are you torturing yourself over that?
I can't imagine that. Well, I can, but...
Move along, civilian.
Jorg! What can I do for you?
I'm here to do the right thing.
You want to do the right thing? Wait. Aren't you the one who saw the Separatist meeting with the Albs?
Yes. Yes, that was me.
And your reason for being here is... and why isn't Caleb here? There is a chain of command for a reason.
Caleb is not our leader. He just settles most things. But there's also... I'm here to admit that I lied for him.
You did what?
I lied. You see, I didn't see Fenk and the other Separatists meet Albs from Zakor. I saw Fenk meet with another Separatist. I don't want the Separatists to be thrown out of the city because of me.
You have been brave to admit your lie. And you've done it before it had major consequences. But this deceit can't go unpunished. I will speak to you after I've spoken to Fenk. I'll send for you, Jorg, when I've thought about this further.